We have seen what happens when extreme heat is generated in the dark woods. The fire of King Kaushika's humiliation warped reality, proving that physical weapons mean nothing to a mind that has conquered itself. But what moves the minds of the gods? There is a visitor in Hindu myth. When kings see him approaching their gates, their blood runs cold. When demons hear the sound of his instrument, they know their empires are already dead. He carries no armor. He commands no army. He is Sage Narada. He does not use the fire of heaven to burn down kingdoms. He uses a much more terrifying weapon. He asks a single, impossible question. Kings spend their lives building thick walls to hide their pride, their guilt, and their rot. Narada is the visitor who simply walks through the wall and forces them to look at it. His arrival means your safe, stagnant life is over. To understand the true danger of this visitor, you have to look at the day he broke the master of creation. Long ago, the universe was vast, silent, and waiting. Daksha Prajapati, a supreme creator god, was tasked with filling it. Daksha treated destiny as a strict command. He needed bodies to populate the earth, to build cities, and to worship the gods above. So he created 10,000 sons. They were known as the Haryashvas. They were perfect, strong, obedient, and completely identical in purpose. Daksha sent them to the western edge of the world, to a sacred lake, to prepare their bodies for the heavy burden of multiplying the human race. They stood shoulder to shoulder by the water, 10,000 men waiting for the final command to begin their endless labor. They did not know themselves. They only knew their father's orders. Then, a man walked out of the tree line. He plucked the strings of a wooden veena. The music was clear and sharp, cutting through the heavy silence of the lake. It was Narada. He looked at the 10,000 men preparing to build a world they did not understand. He spoke softly, offering them a single, quiet riddle. "You prepare to build a kingdom of men," Narada said. "But have you seen the kingdom from which no man returns? Have you found the river that flows only in one direction? How can you create life when you do not yet know the shape of death?" The question hit them like a physical blow. Narada did not tell them to disobey their father. He simply handed them a mirror. The illusion broke. The 10,000 sons looked at their hands and realized their father was sending them into a prison of endless labor. The realization was quiet, and it was fatal. They dropped their weapons in the dirt. They turned their backs on the lake, scattering into the far corners of the earth to seek the truth of the universe. They never returned. When the news reached Daksha, the creator god felt a cold, terrifying sensation. Failure. He stood in his massive hall, listening to the suffocating silence. He waited for the sound of marching feet that would never come. His army of creation was gone, ruined not by a sword, but by a single thought. His pride curdled into cold panic. Unwilling to look at his own failure, he forced his authority upon the world a second time. He created 1,000 more sons, the Shabalashvas. He sent them to the exact same lake, under strict, unbreakable orders to fulfill their destiny. Daksha believed his authority could overrule the truth. He was wrong. The mist over the western lake had barely settled when Narada returned. This time, the visitor did not even need to speak a riddle. He simply stood by the water and plucked a single vibrating note on his veena. The sound carried across the water. The 1,000 sons heard the echo of their lost brothers in the music. Instantly, the illusion shattered again. Without a word of protest, the Second Army laid down their heavy obligations and vanished into the trees, abandoning the material world forever. Something inside the Supreme Creator snapped. Daksha did not send another army. He traveled to the lake himself. He found Narada sitting quietly by the water, his fingers resting lightly on the strings of his instrument. The creator god looked at the hermit who had dismantled his empire twice. Daksha's rage was so profound it made the air around them vibrate. But physical violence is useless against a mind like Narada's. Instead, Daksha reached into the deep, terrifying well of his own cosmic merit and he pulled out a curse.
"You have destroyed the foundations of my house.
Daksha's voice cracked the stone beneath their feet. "You sever the ties of blood." Daksha pointed a trembling finger at Narada's chest. "You have no respect for stability. Therefore, you shall have no stability. You will never have a home. You will never stand still. You will wander the three worlds, forever exiled, unable to rest in one place." The curse struck Narada with absolute crushing force. He was now homeless, a cosmic vagrant doomed to walk across realms until the end of time. Daksha breathed heavily, expecting the sage to break. He expected Narada to fall to his knees and beg for mercy in the ash. Instead, Narada looked up at the creator god, and he smiled. He bowed his head slightly, accepting the punishment without a word of protest. Daksha thought he had punished a criminal. He did not realize he had just armed the universe. Narada didn't trick Daksha's sons. He exposed the rot in Daksha's plan. Destiny cannot be forced. A universe built purely on blind obedience and endless labor is a dead universe. It is a stagnant pond. It requires a stone to be thrown into it. Daksha's curse gave Narada exactly what he needed. By stripping him of a home, Daksha ensured that Narada would visit everyone's home. Narada became the fire that burns away the dead wood. Whenever a king grows too comfortable on his throne, whenever a demon hoards too much power, whenever a god believes their secrets are safe. The music begins. The visitor arrives. He brings the news you do not want to hear. He asks the question you cannot answer. He forces the hidden desire into action. Without his disruption, the great stories of myth would remain asleep. Creation is not a quiet room. It is a wheel built on consequence, and Narada turns the wheel. But this wheel was built long after the first fires were lit. Before the gods of temples and grand empires, there was an older sky, a violent, lawless domain where survival was the only currency. And if you want to follow the bloodline of myth back into the storm, where the first warrior had to break the ultimate obstruction, stay with Mythkipedia.